I'm going to start with the introduction.
Working capital is a broad spectrum that refers to the firm's current assets, such as cash, inventories, and account receivable. To make it specific, there's net working capital and working capital management. Net working capital is the remaining current asset after current liabilities are paid, which means to get a net working capital, we need to find the difference between the current assets and the current liabilities. Working capital management, on the other hand, is a process of managing current assets and current liabilities using the working capital policies. The importance of having an effective working capital is essential because it will help your business handle unpredictable costs that arise because of unexpected environment. The objective of working capital is to maintain balance between assets and liability so the business will run smoothly. Other than that, it is to ensure they have enough cash in hand to pay short-term debt, such as employee and supplier. And lastly, to maximize profitability. For this assignment, we have chosen Panasonic Manufacturing Malaysia Berhad, PMMA, as our business case to analyze their working capital. Panasonic is a popular and reputable brand in Malaysia. They consistently rank as top electronic manufacturing brand in Malaysia. The company has produced a wide range of products such as audiovisual products, system, kitchen appliances such as microwave, home appliances such as vacuum cleaners. PMMA has a strong financial discipline and stability because they have maintained healthy operating cash flows.
Okay, next I'm going to explain about financial data analysis. So this is the statement of financial position as at 31st March 2024 for company Panasonic Manufacturing Malaysia Berhad. So there are list of assets, liabilities, and equity. So for temporary current asset, which are inventories, trade, and other receivables. For permanent current asset, which are cash and cash equivalent, and last one is a fixed asset, which are property, plant, and equipment, right of use assets, and intangible asset. So for temporary current assets, it refers to the current asset that fluctuates directly with changes in sales level. In other words, it is an additional current asset to support the increase in sales. So next, the permanent current asset, it is a minimum amount of current asset the company needs to continue the operations. Okay, next we have net working capital. Net working capital is a remaining current asset after all the current liability are being paid. So to find the net working capital, we have to subtract current asset with current liability. So current asset for this company is 671,617 minus with 130,314, which we get 541,303 ringgit Malaysia. So next, we have to find the current ratio. Current ratio is to measure the ability of company to pay its short-term obligations. To find the current ratio, we use the formula current asset divided with current liabilities. So for Panasonic company, the current asset is 671,670. We divide by 130,314, so we get 5.15 times. So from this result, we suggest to use conservative approach and relaxed policy as the current ratio shows low risk.
I will explain about identification and justification of our group project. First, for the working capital approach, Panasonic uses conservative approach in their working capital management as it has a high current ratio and high net working capital that makes the working capital approach have low risk. In addition, Panasonic also finance most of their fixed assets, permanent assets, and part of its temporary current assets with long-term financing, which are long-term debt and also long-term equity. Next, for the working capital policy, we get relaxed policy, which is the first policy on the graph. Panasonic also applies a relaxed policy in their working capital management as it has a high current ratio and high net working capital. makes the working capital approach have low return. It also has a low risk that makes the policy become relaxed. This makes the policy have high liquidity because this company has a lot of current assets compared to its current liabilities, so they can pay their short-term obligations easily.
In conclusion, Panasonic Manufacturing Malaysia Berhad PMMA shows good management of its liquidity and current assets. The company applies a conservative working capital approach using long-term funds to finance both big and part of its current assets, which help reduce financial risk. At the same time, it follows a relaxed working capital policy by keeping higher level of current assets to ensure smooth operation and customer satisfaction. Overall, PMMA working capital management reflects careful financial planning and stability. Through this group assignment, we learn the importance of teamwork, communication, and responsibility in completing financial analysis. Each member contributes to different parts of the task, which help us better understand how working capital concepts are used in real companies.